Gun rights groups try last-ditch move to stop Trump ban on rapid-fire bump stocks. Washington. You owners of bump stocks, you attachments that allow rifles to be fired rapidly, you are hoping a federal appeals court will relieve them of the legal duty to destroy the devices by Monday. The Trump administration ordered a ban on bump stocks after they figured prominently in the 2017 Las Vegas mass shooting that killed 58 people and wounded 500 others. A police investigation under a federal rule that took effect in December, owners must destroy their bump stocks, which are usually made of plastic, by Monday or risk prosecution for a felony. The rule suggests federal authorities estimate that 500,000 of them have been sold in the U.S. The devices are attached to a rifle in place of the normal stock, the end piece that sit next to a user's shoulder. Once in place, without a bump stock, the rifle remains stationary, and the trigger finger must be moved to fire each round. With a bump stock, for that reason, the Trump administration concluded that bump stocks violate a federal law that bans machine guns, defined as weapons that automatically fire more than one shot with. Gun rights groups sued, arguing that bump stocks are intended to be used with AR-15 style rifles, which are mechanically incapable of firing more than once with a single function of the trigger, because it must be released and moved again to allow the weapon to fire. They say the words of the Justice Department told the U.S. Court of Appeals in Washington, D.C., on Friday that the courts have interpreted the phrase single. An ATF spokeswoman said some owners have already turned in their bump stocks. But gun owner group, the court did not indicate when it might rule.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.